Hi everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Getting the new to us trailer. It's only a year old, but still stuff to do to it. Getting it ready to go for next weekend when we go camping. And I was filling the water tank yesterday, topping it off, and I'm used to the old school style where you fill it until the thing overflows right there. Well, evidently some of these things have an overfill valve now. Where that's located on this trailer, I have no idea. I mean, obviously it's somewhere near the water tank, but there's nothing plumbed through the bottom here. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But there's the freshwater fill. There's the low point drain. Logic did dictate that the water tank is somewhere over here. Since there's nothing in there that it can be sitting above the floor, again, logic says it's under the floor. So it's one of those big old long rectangular flat bastards, which is fine. But I'm out here filling and I hear creak, 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 and I look under here and the whole damn, this bottom panel is just swollen down. I mean, bad. So I nearly crapped a kitten and got out here and got the drain going and cut a little section out of the this paneling under here just to make sure I knew what I was talking about, or what I thought I knew was correct about this thing. So bear with me, I'm on a creeper, so this is going to be interesting, trying to steer and aim the camera. I've already done some work, but as you can see, the underbody of this trailer is completely enclosed with this paneling, which is pretty cool. And the water tank is right under here. See these straps? And there's the other bolt. I haven't put a tape measure on it, but my eyeball says that that is a 4-foot span. And that crummy little metal is at best an 1/8 inch thick. To me it looks more like somewhere between a 1/16 and an 1/8, 3/32, something. I don't know. It's an embarrassment as far as I'm concerned. There's no way in hell that those straps at that span were going to ever hold 46 gallons of water. I mean, what is that, 8 pounds? 350 pounds just for easy math, somewhere in there. So again, you can see I've already done some work. I got this strut beam from Home Depot. Comes in 10-foot sticks, and with this all enclosed, I had no choice but to use the same type of self-drilling screws that they used on all kinds of stuff. I don't know what that's hanging from behind, but it's hanging the pipe that goes out to the camp kitchen here, the propane pipe and all of that. So anyway, I got this done last night, got the floor jack under there, jacked this up with this drain open so that I didn't, overpressurize anything. I mean, in theory, it should come out the cap and the vent up above, but anyway, I was just playing it safe. I don't want to wreck an RV that we've had for less than a freaking week. But anyway, no joke, folks. That damn thing was sagging down to probably about here. I mean, it was bad. So whatever they hung it to the floor with is, I have to assume, long since stretched or pulled out. It was probably just some cheap-ass plumber's tape and some little self-tapper screws. So I got to thinking that I wanted more than just one beam here, and I can't take credit for this. I found this on a Google search, one of the RV forums, a guy who has a Forest River. Same thing happened, only one of those guys, whole damn tank just came right out from underneath it. It ripped the whatever hangers for the bolts here, ripped those right off his floor, tore his tank wiring, all the shit. I mean, it's bad. That's not what anybody wants to have happen. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 more of these in here. I'll just do it whatever. I wanted to do 12-inch spacing. In order to avoid this hanger, I might have to go a little more than that. I know it's 16 inches between the shackle and here, so I guess I'll probably go with about 8-inch. Whatever. It'll be enough to support this tank, and it's never going to come loose. So obviously I have to notch to go around the propane line here. And yeah. So like I say, it comes in 10-foot sticks. This is a 6-foot wide frame. Probably most RVs are. Whoop. Sorry, hit the zoom button there. So I had the 4-foot remnant from yesterday's fun. I went down and got another stick this morning, and I'm a cheap SOB, so I'm going to weld. There's that remnant. I'm going to weld one of these 2-foot sections to that, and then I've got the other 6-foot section right there. So I'm going to go get some measurements for the propane line, get this welded together, and then we'll come back and take a look. Okay, so that propane pipe is 2 inches off of the edge of the frame, and I want this to be flush with the edge of the frame on both sides, so I've come in 2 inches, made a mark. It's a 3/4 inch pipe, so by the time you account for a little bit of slop and the outside diameter, we're going to go to 1 inch here, and this is real simple. You want to use a square so your cuts are half-ass straight. A angle grinder with a cutoff wheel is going to be the fastest here. I am not using that because it makes such a mess, and trying to get enough junk cleared out in my shop here to safely use that angle grinder and not have a giant mess on top of that ain't gonna happen, so I'll do it the old-fashioned way and use the hacksaw. So what I'm gonna do is I don't want to cut any more metal than I have to, so I'm going to use that same 1 inch measurement from the top and come down, and that's the depth that I will cut to. Actually, a little shy of that. I'm going to 7/8 because I discovered that is enough. So I'm going to cut down, and I'm going to leave this piece in here. We're not going to cut that out, and I'll show you what I end up doing. I'm going to pound this down and create kind of a straddle in there that'll keep this tied together, and it'll keep it a little bit stronger. So there's no reason for you guys to watch me cut. We'll come back when I get a little progress. Okay, we'll see how this goes. If this gets too tedious, the video starts getting too long, or the cap rolls down into the camera. Brilliant. Hell of a way to start. Work yesterday was essential to have a floor jack. Today, it may not be. But we're going to use it anyway. And that still has a nice belly to it. That is so ridiculous. Try and get this centered. 43 inches center to center on those damn straps. On the studs here. That is insanity. So we're going to go about 12 inches here. So I'm just going to measure off the old one and mark it on the pipe here. As I should mark it in several spots. One on the frame, one on the pipe. Center on those marks when it comes time. One thing I didn't do yet on the other one that I thought about this morning, I'm going to put a rubber, damn it, a rubber insulator around the propane pipe. There's no joints anywhere here, but if it's ever leak and rub, yeah, I don't want this to be a flambe going down the road, so I just took some old automotive hose and I split it. I'll use that as a sleeve. Alright, we're already pushing on the bottom of that tank, and I'm 2.5, 3 inches off right here. So you want to try and get this lined up as much as possible before, oh man, before going up. Otherwise, you're going to have to let it back down and do it all over again. And I don't think I can pump this jack from under here. There we go. This tank may still be overfilled. So, I'm going to kill this and use the drain valve to drain some of this off so that I can compress this tank without worrying about rupturing it. Okay, I think I got this where this video will be useful. Had to widen the slot to account for the hose of this pipe. I think I've got everything lined up. Watch that damn tank. Watch how much that's pumping up with each pump of the jack. It's just insanity. Okay. So I'm a little off here. Oh man, that's so close. Get this hose straight. And we'll roll right up into place. There we go. Nice. I think I can live with that. Bring this up the rest of the way. Close. One thing I didn't do, because the jack likes to move around, is I didn't go over and make sure the spacing on that side was exactly where I wanted. But I don't want this to move. Wow. Still got to come up a ways. Tempted to start the screw on this side. Put a steel pick in at the end, but we're using the same thing these guys use to mount a bunch of this stuff. They're the self-drilling 1/4 inch hex head screws. These take a 3/8 socket. And they actually work pretty well, I'm surprised. Before you start drilling into these, you want to make sure you take a look at your frame. This is an I-beam. And I've already measured this yesterday, so I know it's about 2.5 inches wide. There's an inch of rail on either side. This pipe is running right in the middle of the pipe. Is about the outer edge of the rail here. So I can only do 1 screw per beam, which I'm not happy about, but 3 beams, 6 screws, plus the factory brackets, 350 pounds, that really should be adequate. There shouldn't be any problem with that. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to drill this from a creeper or if I'm going to have to lay on the ground. But I need to find the safety glasses. The last thing I need is a metal shaving in the damn eye. Of course that would happen.
Of course.
So for backing, we're using these big 1/4-inch fender washers. And those have to go up in the track sideways. They're just a little too big to put, huh? Yeah. It's easy to get them out. And then when we're on the drill, that's next to impossible. Murphy's Law. So again, make sure you get centered up on the outside of that rail. You don't want to be too close to the edge. You don't want to be too close to the center beam. And you're probably going to do what I'm doing 1,000 times. Alright, right about there. I'm at about the, well, I was at about the 3/4 mark. Oh, good Lord. Like I say, if this had been done from the factory, you wouldn't be doing this with me. Leaving about a 1/4-inch gap there until I get that other side aligned. So I'll kill the video for a little bit, go over there, get that centered up, and we'll finish getting this thing up in place. Okay, got that aligned. Go ahead and mount that side, and then we'll move the jack over to this side so that we can pull it up good and tight. Let's see where we're at. Should go without saying, but as long as you have this beam supported by the jack, and it's not totally secured, don't hang out underneath it. Still got that 1/4-inch gap over here, and rather than stress the screw, let's just relocate the floor jack and let it do the work for us. See how much it sags in the middle. So much better. Okay. Okay, good enough. Let's let the jack down. Not bad. Not bad at all. See, that sleeve is in there. So I'll loosen this one up and get a sleeve in it. There's still a little bow, but man, is that better than when I started. Holy moly. So with that odd spacing, I'm going to be pretty close to the strap unless I just split the difference and go for a different width between back here and over here, and I probably am going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down, get that other one installed, get the grommet in this one, and then we'll come back and see what final steps are. Alright, there we go. 3 beams to supplement the completely inadequate original mounting straps. You can see the rubber grommets on each one, protect the gas pipe there. I would prefer not to have to brout it like this, but what the heck are you going to do? The appliance, all the appliances, the kitchen, refrigerator, and outside kitchen are all plumbed to the rear back here. It's a gas line's got to be there, so we'll do it this way. Like I say, for 350 pounds, I think that'll be adequate. I'm going to go ahead and get the rattle can out and spray this black with some, just primer and paint all in one. Doesn't need to be super great, but something so it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. Alright, there it is. That is complete. It got a coat of spray paint on there, so yeah, it looks like it almost belongs. So, Forest River, guys, come on, get it together. The rest of the trailer seems like a really well-built unit with a lot of thought-out good features. One of the reasons guys like me will buy these, especially this model with the big holding tanks and big water tank, is because we want to go out to places where there is no water available. So your disclaimer of, we recommend you travel with a half a tank of water, doesn't cut it with me, and it doesn't cut it with a lot of other guys. That needs to be reinforced, it needs to be framed up properly, and yes, even if it's a pain in the ass to get the tank out down the road, no dude wants to be cruising along and have the thing come out from underneath the coach while you're driving, or have it overfill in the driveway and rip the floor out. So, guys, if you've got one of these Forest Rivers that has the tank under the floor, that's in the 40-gallon range, this one's a 46, I really recommend you get under there the next time you fill it and take a look and see what's going on, because you may have the same kind of issues that I had.